We have some powerful pro-life stories for you this week I think you're going to enjoy. But first, we're zeroing in on Florida and the pro-life legislative push there. Florida ranks as the state with the third highest number of late-term abortions. While the Sunshine State has a pro-life governor, Governor Ron DeSantis, and Republicans hold majority in the House and Senate, pro-life groups say Florida has become the, quote, abortion epicenter in the Southeast region because late-term abortions are still legal. In January of this year, Florida legislators Senator Anna Rodriguez and State Representative Tommy Gregory introduced the Florida Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act to ban abortions at 5 months, which is when science indicates babies can feel pain. To hear more on where this bill stands, we're joined on Skype by Florida State Senator Anna Rodriguez, who introduced it into the state Senate. We're also joined on Skype by the Florida lobbyist for the Susan B. Anthony list, Anna Higgins. Welcome to you both. Anna Maria, let's start with you. Explain why you introduced the pain-capable bill into Florida's state Senate earlier this year. Why was that important to you?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on the show. I really appreciate it. It's important to me because our unborn children need to have a voice. They need someone who will be their champions in the Senate and in the Florida House. We're very fortunate that we have a House member as well who picked up this bill. His name is Tommy Gregory, who's a former House colleague when I served in the House. So I know he's fighting really hard to move the bill forward. Right now, as it stands, this bill is postured to be heard in the Senate Health Policy Committee. It has not been agended yet. I've been asking for it to be agended, and to this day, we're actually entering the third week of session next week. Mm-hmm. So just so those who are listening and or watching don't know the Florida session schedule, our session lasts 9 weeks, and it's basically 60 consecutive days. So right now we're in the second week of session, and so I'm really calling all the committee chairs and trying to get all my bills moving forward in their respective committees. So it is important to have somebody who's willing to fight hard. Just so you all know, Senator Dennis Baxley, who's one of my colleagues, is also a big champion for life bills and has worked very hard in previous sessions to file this type of legislation.
Well, Anne, I'd like to speak with you. Can you explain from your perspective as a lobbyist, how much of a priority is Florida's pain-capable bill for the pro-life movement, and can you expand on its current status?
Sure, it's a huge priority for us. Thank you for highlighting it. We know that, as you mentioned, Florida has a late-term abortion problem. From 20 weeks to 24 weeks, we lose about 900 babies to abortion every year in Florida. So the way that we end this late-term abortion problem is by passing the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act. And we thank Senator Rodriguez for filing that because it will immediately save lives by prohibiting abortions at 20 plus weeks gestation when we know a child in the womb can feel pain. We are putting some pressure on committee chairs to go ahead and put the bill on the agenda. As the senator mentioned, it's not yet been agended, but it's important to us at Susan B. Anthony list that we make sure it gets on the agenda, and the senator has been working very hard to make sure that happens.
Anna Maria, do you think Florida voters would support this bill, and do you think your governor Ron DeSantis, would sign it into law?
Well, I think at their core, people understand, what's at stake here. The lives of our unborn, they pay the ultimate price, in the state of Florida, and that's just something that needs to change. I think Governor DeSantis would absolutely sign something that would come to his desk. As a matter of fact, last session, I was a co-sponsor for a parental consent bill. In the Florida House, Representative Aaron Grawl was the sponsor, and it got traction. And I want to say Anna can talk a little bit more about that, but Florida has a track record of putting forward good legislation that protects life, and the bills here usually get traction in both chambers. So I feel confident. I think as long as session is in, I still have a chance of moving the bill. It has to go through 3 committees of reference and then to the floor, to the full floor vote. So it does have a ways to go. But I'm continuing to fight, and I know Anna is also doing her legwork on her end to get the bill moving.
Anna, you mentioned this earlier, and I think viewers, though, would be surprised to know Florida has a very high abortion rate, the 3rd highest in the United States with late-term abortion. Can you break that down for us and explain why that is?
Sure. So among the states that report to the CDC on late-term abortions, and we're talking about 5 months on, so 20 weeks gestation or later, Florida is closely behind New York and New Jersey in late-term abortion rate numbers. And the main reason for that is, about 23 other states have passed a pain-capable bill. Florida has not. So what we are guessing is that, what we're seeing on the ground is that women from other states are coming into Florida for those later term abortions, especially in North Florida. And what we need to do to end that is pass this pain-capable legislation. We will immediately be saving those 900 plus lives every year.
Anna Maria, I understand you are Catholic. That's what I read. Being that you're on the Global Catholic Network right now, can you share, does your Catholic faith influence your work as a pro-life lawmaker?
Absolutely. It absolutely influences not just my life bills, but all my legislation is influenced by having Christ as my savior and having having been raised with Catholic values and in the Catholic religion, and to this day still practicing Catholic. I think it is important for our leaders in all levels of government to not be afraid to allow their beliefs and their moral compass to guide them in making policy decisions in our nation and in our state.
Anna, at the federal level, just a few weeks ago, U.S. Representative Chris Smith reintroduced the pain-capable bill into the House of Representatives, and Senator Lindsey Graham reintroduced it into the U.S. Senate. If more states pass pain-capable bills, what will that signal to Congress? Will that make a difference?
Well, we're hoping so, because Senator Graham has been very faithful to introduce that bill a number of years now, and we haven't been able to get as much traction on the federal level as we have on the state level. So the more states that come in and say, no, we're going to end late-term abortions, and we're going to protect pain-capable unborn children from the horrific pain of abortion, the more traction we're going to get on the federal level, the more pressure we're going to get on state senators and state representatives to really back that bill and finally see it passed on a federal level.
Anna Maria, we have less than a minute left, but if you could just share a message to Floridians right now about your pain-capable bill, what's your message?
I think it's extremely important for anyone who's watching this to send an email or make a phone call to their legislator, letting them know that they support this type of legislation, and to please ask to have it agendaed on the next committee of reference. And I will repeat, the next committee of reference is the health policy bill. The chairman of that committee is Manny Diaz, Senator Manny Diaz, who's a good friend, a good Catholic as well. And we would love to have him place this bill on the agenda and have the conversation and have a vote on this very important piece of legislation.
Hopefully we have more news to report on this soon. Definitely praying for life for my home state of Florida. Thank you both for joining us, Florida State Senator Anna Maria Rodriguez and Anna Higgins with the Susan B. Anthony list.
Thank you.